honestly suck with it, but I may as well take it before somebody else takes it. I'm gonna probably an R99.
Yeah, I hear ya. All good.
3 seconds later.
We have a dropship coming in.
Understood.
I'm looking at when either are.
We're on the
Care
grid.
package being delivered.
Eyes in the sky. Care package coming.
I got him from all the way over here.
Alright guys, before we get started, I want to start by saying I am not a financial advisor in any shape, way or form. I am not licensed. This is more of an educational video based on my personal experience and based on my personal opinion. Take this with a grain of salt. Feel free to put down in the comment section whether you agree, disagree, or what I should add on to this video. There will be a second part, possibly a third part to this, more in depth. This is more of just an introduction to the credit score. So thank you very much for watching. Write down in the comment section, like, subscribe, and thank you for being here.
Enemy down.
What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about credit score. What is credit score? How you get a credit score? How do you improve your credit score? And how important is your credit score? Ultimately, this whole thing is going to rely on what really credit score is and how important it is to the gaming community. Whether you decide to buy the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 5, or you're trying to set up your whole entire gaming setup for PC side, which can range all the way from the $500 all the way up to possibly $6,000 if you want just the top of the line. Not everybody has that amount of cash available to them, so a lot of people, what they do is they finance those type of deals. And when it comes to financing, you need to have a credit score or ultimately some sort of trustworthy score that can let banks loan you that money.
Nobody's taking that?
Alright, we're gonna start by explaining what your credit score is. Based on Investopedia, the definition of a credit score is a number representing the risk a lender takes when he lets you borrow the money. In other words, to make this super simplified so you young kids and ultimately those of you in the younger generation can understand, is you giving money to a friend. You have people from becoming your best friend to your regular friend to a complete stranger. Your best friend is people that have 800 to the 700, possibly 650 credit score. Your good friend is a 650 all the way down to the 500, which is a trustworthy but not good worthy, pretty much trusty. Your strangers are all those guys below the 500 mark, which you know if you give money to them, you most likely will not see that money back. So ultimately you always want to lend to your best friend because in most cases you will get your money back. That's really what companies look at. Credit score maximum number you can potentially get is about 850 points. It's based on a point system here in the US. I'm not sure when it comes to Canada or any other country, so this video is related directly to the US. So 850 points is ultimately the highest number you can achieve when it comes to your credit score. That's you having way beyond. I personally do not know or ever heard of anybody having an 850 credit score. Most, even achieving an 800, that's like perfect score. And those are individuals who have a credit score for over 10 years open. So, that's probably your parents, your retired grandfathers, grandmothers, and whatnot. So you ultimately really want to be within the 700 mark. Even 650 is not bad. That's just when you first get your credit cards, like when you first start opening your credit cards. So 700 all the way up to 750, that's pretty much a perfect score, and you consider to get a super low interest rate on any sort of loan. Specifically in this case would be car loans, home equity loans, and whatnot.
For their developing the other team.
Right, the next question is ultimately going to be how do you start your credit score, or ultimately how you start getting some sort of credit. So for those of you that are currently in high school or just getting into college and looking to pretty much just get more independent, step away from mom and dad, and ultimately just kind of just get started in the system. So whenever it comes down to your graduation, whether you want to start a business, buy yourself a brand new car, or just buying a car in general, or even simply buying a house for yourself, for your loved ones, and whatnot, you need to have some sort of credit score. So initially, what I did as soon as I was 18 years old, I enlisted into
I
the
just
Marine
put 3
Corps.
shields in the road.
But the first thing I did was with my bank, I applied for a credit card. The credit card at the time, I didn't have any sort of credit at all. I was completely blank. Obviously, I was active duty, so then you already had a contract at XYZ, 4 years of active pay, so automatically they kind of trusted me with an actual credit card, which my limit at the time was about pretty much $500. Which most of you who are opening a brand new credit card, you will receive a limit of about $500 to possibly $1,000. And most banks, what they will require of you is to actually deposit that money ahead of time, in case for whatever reason you forget to pay the actual credit card off during at the end of the month, or you simply just kind of are not within the age, which is pretty much the age of 18, in order for you to get a credit card, which in this case you have to drop down 500, or your parents have to specifically drop down $500 for you, and then whenever each time you swipe the credit card, it's pretty much ultimately like a debit card. That's really how you get started when it comes to your credit score, and actually started gaining a history to yourself. Because your credit score and ultimately your credit card statements are going to be linked directly to your social security number, or your pretty much your number. So next step from here, what I would advise you, if for those of you opening a credit card, is each time you have a credit card and you put anything on it, because when I initially had my credit card, the only thing I ever put on it was pretty much the gas to my car, which would be about $20 every 2 weeks or so. I had pretty much a Skyline, but that was overseas. But yeah, so I put gas in it, and at the end of the month, I will pay it off every single month. So without exception. At the time, I did not know exactly how to look my credit score. I didn't even know what really credit score was whatsoever. I just grabbed the credit card, and then my parents told me, hey, just use it and pay it off every single month, and then you're gonna see wonder down the road. I never understood exactly what it was until down the road when I started doing more research on the actual subject. So I'm glad, mom and dad, if you listen to this, thank you. The next question is going to be, how important is your credit score and why you should ultimately have one? For us gamers, the credit score can be extremely useful. Not only is it going to allow you to buy a bigger system, in this case would be PC, which will allow you to finance a bigger PC, which in many cases can actually be worth as much as a car. I don't know how many of you have potentially all the way up to $7,000 worth of cash available to you in order for you to just have the latest and the best of the best when it comes to the PC setup. I know that the whole NVIDIA 3080 is coming out here soon. A lot of you are actually been waiting for it and actually planning to upgrade to that system. I'm almost certain at this point that it's probably going to cost anywhere between $900 all the way up to $1,500 for that graphic card particularly. So that graphic card alone is worth more than the Xbox Series X and the PS5 combined. So for those of you that don't have credit card but be saving, then you're good to go. But for those of you that do not have the money but want to stay on top of the latest and the best of the best when it comes to any sort of games, you're gonna want to upgrade to that 3080 graphic card. So that's anywhere between $900 all the way up to possibly $1,500 in just for a graphic card. So this is really why credit score and ultimately just credit card is going to be the goal ultimately of having a credit score as a gamer is to ensure that you have a good score, because all of us love gaming in general. If this is something we enjoy, there's always something that's going to come out that's going to be way better than the system that we currently have. There's going to be new games coming out every single year. There's going to be just everything that's just going to come up that's going to be costly a lot of money every single time. And a lot of us don't have money available right there and then all the time. So in some cases, if you want to become, for example, the next big ninja, or the next streamer, you may have to actually spend a lot of money into a whole computer setup with a whole recording device and whatnot. And that's going to be quite a bit of money. So you may have to finance some of it, because in this case, it wouldn't be considered too much of a negative debt, because you can actually consider it a business expense. That is something I will be talking in a different video. I'm not going to go too much in detail with this. The credit score in general just will benefit you in so many ways, and just that is not just ultimately going to be for you to be able to buy more games and whatnot. It's going to help you and assist you when it comes to those things, but it's not just going to be the main purpose of it. To wrap this up, guys, I just want to end on this note. Credit score can be used for anything. The real reason why you want to have a credit score is to have a positive credit score. You don't want to be down in the 400s or even in the 500 level. You really want to work just on yourself, making sure that you become somebody's best friend. In this case, it's ultimately becoming the bank's best friend. Because if you stay within those standards, they're gonna trust you with whatever you need. Whether you're starting a business yourself tomorrow, or whether you're trying to finance a house, or you're trying to finance a car, or simply just got yourself in a bad spot and you need some sort of emergency money, and you may need to go to Mr. Bank and ask him for some sort of loan, which in this case, he will be your best friend. So you don't want to put yourself in that stranger status and ultimately hurt yourself in the very long term. This is why, as a gamer in the gaming society in general, it's extremely important to have a great credit score, if not excellent credit score, because it's just extremely important, guys. All of us enjoy what we do day in, day out. A lot of us have jobs that we just, we have to work in order for us to be able to live and all stuff and ultimately provide to our family. So maintain your positive aspect of things, maintain your good credit score, and it's going to benefit you in extremely long term. Maybe not be today, but it definitely will be down the road whenever you plan to do anything that makes you happy. To end this video, I really want to pretty much talk about the next videos that you guys are going to be seeing. I'm going to get more in depth when it comes to the stock market, some of the potential risks, and ultimately some of the things that are leading to where things are right now. I'll be getting not too much in detail about the whole coronavirus and all those things, because I don't want to create fear in anybody here. This is more of an entertainment purpose video / educational video. So without further ado, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your comments. I read every single one of you. Just so don't feel free to comment down below. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you.